But
Wait.
look, the moon is right there in front of the
It's
sun.
not the moon in front of the sun.
Wait.
But the moon is over here. Why is the moon right there if it's supposed to be in front of the sun? Here, I'm using these right here.
That's insane.
Why is it that when we ask these questions, nobody answers? NASA has nothing to say. Oh, but you get a roach in your Oreo, and Nabisco has to come out and make a whole apology and shit on X. They need to answer our questions. NASA has got to have some kind of accountability, but they don't. And we ask these questions every single day, and nobody ever answers them. They just ignore it. We say the moon's not in alignment with the sun. The sun's not even in Aries. It's in whatever, Pisces. And it's not even supposed to be an eclipse. But do you think NASA has anything to say about it? No, they go and shoot missiles at it. But do you think they're going to tell us why? Hell no.
Alexa, what's the United Nations States of America?
After the United States of America, the United Nations States of America, UNSA, was formed. It is a new nation created after the apocalypse that replaced the original United
What?
States of America.
What apocalypse?
Alexa, where did you get that information?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. If the universe has led you here in a crazy twist of fate, please do hit that subscribe button. You will not be disappointed, and neither will I. I appreciate every single one of you. Sorry for not posting lately, you know, things happen. But let's get straight into this video, because these are some crazy TikToks that are going to change your view of reality and make you wake up.
You see, the United States taxpayer has already sent $113 billion to Ukraine, and a lot of that money is unaccounted for. This is a continuance of a sick business model that the American government continues. The federal government continues to fund the military-industrial complex, and this is a business model that requires Congress to continue to vote for money, to continue to fund foreign wars, and this is a business model the American people do not support. They don't support a business model built on blood and murder and war in foreign countries, while this very government does nothing to secure our border. The American people are over $34 trillion in debt, and the debt is rising by over $40 billion every single night while we all sleep. But yet nothing is done to secure our border or reduce our debt. Inflation has driven out of control. Americans are suffering every single day. They can hardly afford their grocery bills. They can hardly afford gas in their car. They can hardly afford rent. And now mortgage payments are well over $3,000, where they were only just over $1,700 3 years ago. The youngest generation, young adults, don't even think they're going to be able to buy a home in their lifetime. And today in Congress, the most important thing that this body thinks should be done is to send another $61 billion to a war in Ukraine that the American people by 70% do not support. Mind you, this comes on the very heels of Monday being April 15th, tax day, where every single American had to scrounge up their money and send their dollars in to the IRS. Or some of them had to file extensions because they weren't ready and didn't have the money to pay their taxes. But today, this body says the most important thing we can do, no, is not reduce spending. That's not it. Not to do anything to drive down inflation. Oh no, we can't do that for the American people. It's not to secure our own border that is invaded every single day, by people from over 160 different countries. No, don't secure the American border. Let everyone in. We have over 1.8 million known gotaways. We don't know who these people are. And yet you have members of this body talking big and tough about, oh, we have to defeat Russia. Oh, we have to protect Ukraine. But yet all of you are unwilling to protect the American citizens that pay your paycheck, pay the light bills in this building, and pay for this entire federal government. For what? For nothing. Ukraine is not even a member of NATO. Ukraine is not a member of NATO. But the most important thing you hear in Washington, D.C. is, oh, we have to spend Americans' hard-earned tax dollars over to Ukraine and keep the money going to continue to murder Ukrainians, wipe out an entire generation of Ukrainian men so that there are widows, there are fatherless orphans, there are not enough men to work in their industries. Oh, but you really support Ukraine. Wow, what kind of support is that? It's repulsive. You know, shame on the American government. Shame on the American government. If we support our military, support our military. We should be funding to build up our weapons and ammunition, not to send it over to foreign countries to kill foreign peoples. And if this body was worth what it claims to be, what it is, every single one of us would be demanding peace in Ukraine between these countries. Peace for these people so that no more of them have to die. But you never hear anybody demanding peace. No, 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 no. Peace is the last thing Washington wants because it doesn't fit the business model. This is a business model that they say continues our economy, protects American jobs. What a disgusting business model. We should have a business model that builds up our American companies and American jobs to serve American interests, and our military and our government should care about protecting the national security of the United States of America and the Americans that pay their hard-earned tax dollars to fund all of this. America last. America last. That's all this is. Every single day, America last.
Gentlewoman's time has expired.
I yield.
Y'all, it is so hard to listen to her voice. No? Like, oh my God. But what she was saying is all right. And it's all like, I think a lot of people are feeling right now. I mean, of course, we don't want Russia to take out Ukraine. We don't want Ukraine to take out Russia. We just want peace. And we want our money to either go towards our debt or go towards funding our government and our schools and our teachers and our nurses and our hospitals and our roads and construction to build up America and to help people that are here suffering. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that we could spend $100 billion. You know how much $1 billion is? $1 billion? Like, when people win the lottery and they win $100 million, just $100 million, that changes their entire life forever. Think about $1 billion. And we've sent over $100 billion over there for this. And now the economists and the people that study war, they're all saying that, you know, Ukraine's soldiers are beat out 4-1. There are 4-1 Russian soldiers to Ukraine soldiers, and they're never going to win this war. We can build up our stockpiles, which is what they say some of this money, this new bill they just passed. Oh, they would have built up our stockpiles of ammunition, gunpowder, and missiles and such, but we're sending them right, as soon as we build them, we're sending them right overseas. So what's the point? I mean, there's so many things that are ass backwards in this entire situation, and it makes you wonder, is our government trying to destroy America on purpose? I mean, I hate to say that, but like, what is going on? When you look at the bigger picture, what do you ask yourself? If I was an evil dictator and I wanted to ruin a country, how would I do that? And some of those things line up with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Well, moving on.
But look, the moon is right there in front of the
It's
sun.
not the moon in front of the sun.
Wait.
But the moon is over here. Why is the moon right there if it's supposed to be in front of the sun? Here, I'm using these right here.
That's insane.
Do you see that? If the moon is right there in front of the sun, then why is it over there?
I'm gonna Google that.
Oh yeah, go Google that. Let's see if they tell you the truth. Let's just see if today, out of any other day in the world, that today's the day they tell you the truth about the government. Why is it that when we ask these questions, nobody answers? NASA has nothing to say. Oh, but you get a roach in your Oreo, and Nabisco has to come out and make a whole apology and shit on X. They need to answer our questions. NASA has got to have some kind of accountability, but they don't. And we ask these questions every single day, and nobody ever answers them. They just ignore it. We say the moon's not in alignment with the sun. The sun's not even in Aries. It's in whatever, Pisces. And it's not even supposed to be an eclipse. But do you think NASA has anything to say about it? No, they go and shoot missiles at it. But do you think they're going to tell us why? Hell no. I'm just saying there should be a system. You know, if I do something wrong, the police come for me. If you do something wrong as the government, or if the people hold you accountable, God forbid, you call it an insurrection. What are we living in today, guys? I don't even know what this is anymore. I don't know what to call it. It's not even civilization. It's not even a dictatorship. It's just bullshit.
We know that Marburg is not particularly contagious, but it has an extraordinarily high rate of fatality, and we know the mechanism by which this will be released, and that is inside of these shots that people already received, inside the lipid nanoparticles, the hydrogel, there exist pathogens inside of the particles that have not yet opened. Those pathogens are chimeric. They include E. coli Marburg, Ebola staphylococcus, and brewer's yeast, amongst others. We know that upon the broadcast from the 5G system that is now employed across the United States, and the world for that matter, when they broadcast an 18 gigahertz signal for 1 minute, 3 different times as a pulse, it will cause those lipid nanoparticles to swell and release these pathogenic contents, thereby causing a Marburg epidemic that they've already spent the money on. It's already done, right? The Marburg epidemic, for purposes of the law, has happened. And now we just need the actual disaster to happen. And there's actually worse parts to it than that, including the 1p36 gene deletion that effectively will turn those poor people into zombies. Did
you just say zombies? He said zombies, didn't he? He said zombies. Okay, so if you missed it, what he was saying is, people who got the, you know what, back when that virus was going around, have now these lipid particles inside of them, or nanoparticles inside of them, that when a certain pulse or sound is played out into the air or into the public, these particles come together and they form certain other viruses, and they turn into other diseases and can turn you into a zombie. Yeah, so that right there is not proven. Okay, I have not proven that on my channel. I'm not going to say it's the truth. I want you to do your own research on any of these videos. Please do your own research on all of this, okay? But please also be vigilant, have some discernment, be aware of what they're saying, and then if you're interested, go look up the information for yourself. You can find this interview and more on the Prather Point on bitshoot.com. That's BITCHUTE.com.
Please watch this. This is in front of everybody. How can some man, one man, get away with all this in front of all of them? This is sickening. This is ridiculous. This is it, people. They're bringing us before this election to get us at the end of times, man. This is it. This is it. Watch this.
November, my team began serious negotiation with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen. Oh, you don't think so? Oh, you don't like that bill, huh? That conservatives got together and said it was a good bill? I'll be darned. That's amazing. That bipartisan group would hire 1,500 more security agents and officers, 100 more immigration judges to help tackle a backlog of 2 million cases, 4,300 more asylum officers, and new policies so they can resolve cases in 6 months instead of 6 years now. What are you against? We're doing more high-tech drug detection machines to significantly increase the ability to screen and stop vehicles smuggling fentanyl into America.
It's funny when they show the audience, nobody's clapping, but like it sounds like everybody's standing up and clapping. Isn't that weird? Until they show the back and then everybody's that's weird. But also, like, why hire all these new border security agents if you're not going to use them? Because you've decided to back off the border and not let Texas defend itself. Like, so contradictory here. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Remember, if you were destroying a country, what would you do? Open the damn border, not let the border people that protect the border. I mean, like, come on. Step by step, they're just ruining the country.
Wow. It's great down here in Texas. You see that everywhere. You see it on the street. Definitely with Chicago, New York, and all that is.
Also give me and any new president new emergency authority to temporarily shut down the border when the number of migrants at the border is overwhelming. The Border Patrol Union has endorsed this bill. The Federal Chamber of Commerce is, You're saying no, look at the facts.
And they're laughing at him.
Are they laughing? We got to watch our houses down here day and night down here in Texas.
I believe that given the opportunity for a majority in the House and Senate would endorse the bill as well, a majority right now. But unfortunately, politics has derailed this bill so far. I'm told my predecessor called members of Congress in the Senate to demand they block the bill. He feels political win, he viewed it as a political win for me and a political loser for him. It's not about him, it's not about me.
That's it. I can't take it no more, but yeah, that's not good, people. That's not good at all.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows: H-Res 503, impeaching Joseph R. Biden, Jr., President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. Resolved that Joseph Robinette Biden, Jr. is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors, and that the following articles of impeachment be exhibited to the United States Senate. Articles of impeachment exhibited by the House of Representatives of the United States of America in the name of itself and of the people of the United States of America against Joseph R. Biden, Jr., President of the United States, and maintenance and support of its impeachment against him for high crimes and misdemeanors. Article 1, abuse of power. The Constitution provides that the House of Representatives, quote, shall have the sole power of impeachment, end quote, and that the President of the United States, quote, shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors.
Wow. Do y'all think that's going to go through? Is that even a real thing? I haven't heard the media talk about that. Of course, I don't watch the news, so I wouldn't. But, like, I haven't heard anybody else talk about that. This is why I love TikTok, because you can find all this stuff. Oh, my God.
Dear brothers and sisters, excuse me because I speak in Italian, but I am not speaking English. But I will speak no Italian, no English, but carefully. È una lingua più semplice e più autentica, e questa lingua del cuore ha un linguaggio e una grammatica
You
speciale.
have to know something that I've been keeping secret for a long time. Very simply, 2 rules. We must take the Bible seriously and make the Bible its own. Just like the sky, and whether you believe or not, the truth it is blue. Now let me explain in more detail if you did not get that. All what is happening here is very, very prophetic. Tony Palmer, he knows what I'm talking about.
Tony Palmer, siamo amici da anni.
I found out only recently that the Bible is very accurate regarding this meeting to unite on peace. Yes, peace and safety, but truthfully. It says after that, then sudden destruction. Sudden because we are living in the end time and we are living like Jesus Christ isn't coming back. But that is what the Spirit says. We are lukewarm and think we are saved when we are not. But actually we are blind, wretched, naked all over. I am really sad about what is happening even within my own life. And within our stiff-necked suburbs. So really, your family should not, otherwise you and your family should be misled. Even kids and family kiss me. The parents should know better. They really need to tell the truth about me. It's so wrong. I'm ashamed to tell you this, but I have secret agenda to deceive you. Yes, it looks good to unite people in a one-world religion. That way I can control them better. And have you all worship me. And in doing this, you will really receive the mark of the beast. You don't want that, really. The only way you can avoid this, firstly, is to know who God really is. Yes. You also need to study God's Word deeply, especially the book of Revelation and Daniel. It reveals who God's true church and also shows who Satan's church really is. And if you know the real difference, it's impossible to be deceived. If someone came to you and told you to go to that church because the Holy Spirit is there, you say to them, I will only go if you keep God's law, especially the Sabbath, Saturday. Not Sunday. Get it right. And that person will say, what is wrong with going to the church on Sunday? It doesn't really matter what you worship, God. You are too extreme. And they will make fun of you and call you an extremist. They are full of garbage, silliness, and hypocrisy. You see, we the leaders in the Catholic Church really changed God's law big time. We got rid of the second law, changed the fourth law, and we divided the 10th into two. So it would actually look like there is 10 commandments, but still, but not really. This is a secret we have been keeping for a long time, yet many people have not realized this. You've all been deceived by this silly and crafty deception of ours. So now you worship idols and pray to Mary, but she is dead. It's time to stop this nonsense. I say this really simply, so don't be offended. But I'm a man of sin mentioned in the Bible. And the Bible calls the Catholic Church the mother of harlots. It is shocking, I know, but what is even more shocking is about most Protestants, apostate Protestants. That's what Christ calls them, but God's Word refers to them as daughters of the harlot, because they all are eventually going to join their mother. And together we will, well, receive the mark of the beast, which is the Sunday law. And those who still choose to keep the Saturday Sabbath will be hunted like dogs. It's cruel, I know, but I feel more sad for you who choose to keep the Sunday, because God will hunt you. And only in the second resurrection you will realize you were so stupid, and it will say, but God, I didn't know. But he will say, you should have known. I made it clear in my word, especially in Revelation. I gave you so many clues and sent preachers, but you had itchy ears. Your ears were so itchy that you listened to Joyce Meyer and Joel Osteen. and think what you could be a Christian and watch The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Not only that, but also Game of Thrones, The Dance of Dragons, not to mention Lego Movie 2 that was recently released. No, you cannot be a double-minded Christian. You can only serve one master. Soon you will have to decide because my wound is about to be healed. You must put away all your sins and repent, otherwise you will not be ready. It's time to wake up. Thank you. I can't believe he just exposed us, that fool. He claims he's God and you should worship him, so make sure you do. Just ignore the other stuff. Sure, we might be daughters of prostitute, but still, you don't need to be such truths of heaven. Go home and don't share on YouTube anything that was said here. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. So he admitted to kissing children or allowing children to kiss him, and he admitted he knows that's wrong. What scares me is him saying that he's the guy, he's the Antichrist basically. He's the one in the Bible that the Bible talks about having a head wound and then a healing, and that's how you know that they're the Antichrist. What head wound? I didn't see a head wound. Did y'all see a head wound? Maybe it meant that he was sick in the head and that's going to be healed soon. I don't know. What do y'all think in the comments below? Let me know.
This is fucking spooky. Have you heard of the Kobe Bryant conspiracy theory? Okay, you're going to add all 4 of these numbers and then tell me what you get. If you did the math right, you would have gotten 8,024. Kobe's jersey numbers were 8 and 24. And if you take these numbers and add each number individually, you're going to come up with the number 41. Kobe Bryant was 41 years old at the moment of his death. This is so fucking crazy. So they died on January 26th. Now, if you add those numbers individually, you get the number 9. And there were 9 people that died in the helicopter crash. Now, this last part had me spooked. So the helicopter departed at 9:06 in the morning. And at 9:47, they reported the crash. If you take 9:47 minus 9:06, you get 41. The helicopter crashed within 41 minutes of departing. Kobe Bryant was 41 years old at the time of death. Was there a conspiracy behind Kobe Bryant's death? Was it a ritual from the Illuminati? There's all these crazy theories out there. All this math and numerology is giving me a fucking headache. Click the plus sign and let me know what you think.
Level with the American people here. Ukraine is not a paragon of democracy. This is a country that has banned 11 opposition parties. It has consolidated all media into one state TV media arm. That's not democratic. It has threatened not to hold elections this year unless the U.S. forks over more money. That is not democratic. More facts for you that you won't hear from the mainstream in either party or the mainstream media. Regions of Ukraine that are occupied by Russia right now in the Donbass, Luhansk, Donetsk. These are Russian-speaking regions that have not even been part of Ukraine since 2014, that other people probably couldn't name those provinces for you.
Do you agree with what he is saying? Could this entire war be a scam? Could Ukraine not actually be democratic, or is this guy spewing up made-up stories? Mind you, this was filmed on November of this year, so it's pretty recent. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Those are the hard facts. And so to frame this as some kind of battle between good versus evil, don't buy it. And I'd like the likes of the sharpest of the war hawks on Ukraine, Nikki Haley, to have some accountability and answer. Do you want to use U.S. taxpayer money to fund the banning of Christians? That is actually what's happening. They're using the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. They have banned them. The Ukrainian parliament just did this last week, supported by our dollars. And I think you owe it to the American people, Nikki, to at least this one time at least condemn.
Thank you. That's time.
At least to condemn their banning of Christians.
He wanted her to confess to the fact that she's such a Ukraine supporter. But here's the thing, like, regardless of if they're democratic or not, we don't usually support or save countries that are democratic, right? Like, we went into Iran because they weren't democratic. We wanted to make them democratic, and that's what we always do. We try to run in and save all these people, make them the way that we are when maybe they don't even want to be that way. You know what I mean? Oh, Lord Jesus.
Fellow South Carolinians, a game-changing opportunity awaits. The Nasara Gazara cards. These cards signify a revolutionary initiative that's about to transform our financial landscape, bringing prosperity to countless families. With these cards, financial freedom is within reach like never before, providing direct access to deserved prosperity while liberating you from the taxes and interest. Gone are bureaucratic hurdles. Every South Carolinian gains the power to control their financial destiny. Nasara Gazara cards promise transparency, fairness, and empowerment, eliminating inequality and fostering a system where everyone can thrive. Imagine a future free from financial constraints, where every resident can pursue dreams without the burden of taxes and interest. This initiative goes beyond financial gain. It's about restoring hope, faith, and putting power back into the hands of our citizens. I believe in the transformative potential of these cards to reshape lives and propel our state towards a brighter, tax-free, and more prosperous.
Remy, sit. Okay, Nasara is this national act that was put into place back in like 2016, I think, and they talk about how all this money that the white hats or the good guys are collecting and seizing from the bad guys. For instance, all of Hillary's mansions, or the bank accounts that are all seized that belong to Nancy Pelosi and so on. All that money that they're collecting because they're taking down the bad guys, right? That money is going to a fund called the St. Germain Fund. All of that money then goes back to the people, okay? Not only that, but when you're born, you are put on the stock market. That account holds millions of dollars in it, under your name, under your securities, under your control if you know how to control it. So that money will be returned to the people as well. So in theory, everybody would have a lot of money then and be rich and be able to do exactly what they wanted to for the rest of their lives, or for as long as they had money, you know. It's not only that, it's so many things. Debt forgiveness, mortgage forgiveness, because all of these credit card loans and mortgages are all illegal, the way that they hand them out, the way that they write the contracts up is illegal. So debt forgiveness would happen. A lot of things would happen. The problem is when you give everybody a bunch of money, nobody's going to work, and then society might break down. So they're trying to figure all this out before they just let us have all this money, right? GESARA, on the other hand, that was NASARA, national, for the U.S. GESARA is for the entire world. They want to do that for the entire world. So.
Speak. Fuck! Good boy.
Good evening. I've pretty much read one of the best announcements I've read for a while. We are due an announcement of NASARA being launched. Now, it's saying, it looks like it's going to be like the first few days in April, so we'll soon see. But what they're basically saying is that NASARA will be announced to the globe. So that will show that the system is beginning. And then following that, there'll be an emergency broadcast system going around globally where they're literally going to be spamming out all the documentaries of everything that has gone on to wake up the masses. But in order to do that, there's going to be a message out amongst that EBS saying at some point in the next sort of 5 hours or so, everybody needs to be at home, and a global lockdown for 10 to 12 days will begin. During that lockdown, all that will be on every station is going to be documentaries to give a full disclosure, so everybody will see everything that has been going on. So by the end of the 12 days, apparently there will be an 800 number that we then need to ring, and then from that point we'll be given our quantum appointment with a date and time confirmed for us to go. Now there's other things that was announced on it as well. So apparently we've already got one lump sum sat in our quantum account already. The reason why there's been not much information come from the QFS team these last few weeks is because there was like some major things going on. One of the things is that I think it's about 75 banks, it said, have been seized and all the assets and accounts closed, and these were all cabal accounts. So these assets have been taken and moved into the quantum financial accounts to be given back to the people. And also all the trust funds have been moved over to the quantum financial account. So already that's been moved over, which is just incredible. And it also answered another question as well, because it's stated on the intel that there will be a given that you cannot quit your job in order to receive these NESARA payments. So everybody needs to stay in work and maintain a job to receive these NESARA payments. It also said it would take about 11 years for everyone to receive all the money that is owed to them. And also the fact that money is not going to be an issue anymore. Money literally just won't be important because everyone will have enough to live an abundant life. So that's amazing. It just basically means we can start moving forward as humanity now, trying to progress rather than being held back for so long. So amazing news. Late in the evening, but I thought I just got to get on and just share this because this is what we've been waiting for. You know, in the end, when we saw Silicon Valley Bank go down, we knew that was the big sort of domino that fell that was going to start bringing down the banks, and that it has done. They also confirmed that all the major banks, the central banks, have now been taken over, and they now run for the QFS. So they're all on the ISO 20022. And the other thing to remember, when I've been sharing about the QFS already and the fact that it's been moving over to this new messaging system, people were sort of saying that how does it stop people, corruption taking control? And you're missing the point of the whole thing. This is blockchain. Nothing dodgy can take place because everything is traceable. Any money that gets sent, they can see where it's going. It stops corruption in its tracks. There's none of this backhand or moving things behind doors or, you know, banks in the middle of nowhere, offshore and stuff like that. None of that can happen anymore. All money is trackable and traceable. Stops it all. Corruption ends the minute the QFS starts. And I guarantee you there'll be a lot of people that probably won't be able to get a quantum account, especially if they're in a low vibration, if they've been like drug dealing or stuff like that. Because that's one of the things they pointed out as well. There's going to be some off-world identification, which that's insane. So remember, this is quantum computing we're talking about, next level stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what that is. Start working on your vibration, make sure it's high. So yeah, exciting times. I'll see what more I can get in the meantime, but looking forward to it. We're now on the final steps of it. So stock market will crash, because when the stock market crashes, that is the complete end of it. Oh, the other thing as well that was on there, it was saying, just confirming that all personal accounts, everything are mirrored on the quantum financial account. So we don't have to worry about our bank accounts, any sort of retirements and savings accounts, things like that. They're all on there. The only things that are not mirrored is stocks and investments on the stock market. They will go, and the new stock market will then start up when the QFS does. So I hope that clears that bit up as well. So our bank accounts are fine. Any retirement bank accounts and savings bank accounts, they're all fine. It's just the stock market that's going to go down. So if you do have anything invested at the minute, get it out, because it's just going to go, and it's not backed up. So another bit of good news there. Exciting times ahead. Like and follow for more, and I'll keep finding more. Take care.
Can y'all imagine?
After the apocalypse.
Can you just imagine for a second what that would look like if we all got all that money? And like, I'm talking like $10 million or whatever, you know, $100 million. Like, what if we did get that money? What if we could do any job we would want to do? Like, yeah, maybe you can't quit your job, but you could at least choose any job that you want to do. Go back to school, do whatever you want, you know?
The United Nations States of America, UNSA, replaced the United States of America.
Welcome to your weekly What the F did Alexa just say? Alexa, what's the United Nations States of America?
It was formed from various organizations and species, including Starfleet Command and the Voltan races.
Alexa, are you drunk right now? Okay. So, Alexa, what's the United Nations States of America?
After the United States of America, the United Nations States of America, UNSA, was formed. It is a new nation created after the apocalypse that replaced the original United States of America.
What apocalypse?
Alexa, where did you get that information?
From xoxoxoxo.com. Any search engine can quickly reveal your phone number, address, and family information with a surprising level of detail.
That's great.
While on
I have to look this up. I can't with this shit right now. Oxios.com. I can't find it. Whatever. I'm about to look later.
paper, the organization operates as a more hands-on form of the United Nations, the United States of America, due to its involvement as the sole superpower that forcibly took each participating nation and made them part of the organization, controls most of the goings-on of United Earth.
I can't.
That's scary. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, if the universe has led you here in a crazy twist of fate, please do hit that subscribe button. You will not be disappointed, whichever way it is. Thank you, each and every one of you. We are growing and are on our way to 1,000. So I'm excited. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.